Over the years, we humans have invented new technologies to entertain ourselves and to make our lives easy and comfortable. But with new inventions, new responsibilities have arrived, which keeps everyone engaged and make them work harder, affecting their overall life. Though the hard work does bring a certain success, but the cost we pay is higher than we can ever imagine. Uncertain routines, hectic schedules, and exertion have resulted in various ailments among people. And these ailments are very often the result of improper sleep and snoring. सर आप कराटे लेते हैं?
नहीं, मैं भी नहीं लेता हूँ।
No.
कराटे तो यार नहीं लेते अपन।
जी नहीं।
होता हूँ।
We asked about 100 random people whether they know that snoring can lead to life-threatening diseases. 90% of them replied with a no, so we decided to tell them some facts about snoring. Sleep apnea is a situation where a person stops breathing for 10 seconds. If that person does it for 5 times in an hour, it's normal. If he does it for 15 to 30 times, it's moderate. But if the person does it for more than 30 times, it's extreme case of sleep apnea. Do you know that a person who has sleep apnea, he can also suffer from memory loss, impotency, hypertension and other diseases as well? We followed two extreme cases of snoring. In the first case, the patient came alone to the clinic. When we discussed with the doctor, we got to know that he suffered some loss in the business due to sleepiness during the day. Initially, when we tried to speak to the patient, he was not at all interested. After requesting him again, he agreed to talk about his case. He also allowed us to follow up his case whenever he visits the doctor again. In another case, our team got to know about an extreme case of snoring, where we got to meet a patient and his wife. Even though the patient was a bit hesitant, his wife readily agreed to share her experience with us. When did you finally decide to see a doctor?
Actually, nobody believes that snoring is a disease. Even I thought that. But when the sound of snoring increased, I could not sleep. I used to have sleepless nights because it was so irritating and immensely disturbing, which affected my daily routine too. My husband started looking dull with no energy, and he would always look disturbed. Time came when we started fighting, and even I started sleeping in another room. But still, I was unable to sleep as I felt selfish. That day I decided I'll ask my husband to see a doctor.
What did the doctor tell you when he first examined your husband?
My husband also suffers from high blood pressure, and we never knew that snoring was one of the causes behind it. And our doctor told us that snoring can result in sleep apnea, where a patient stops breathing for about 10 seconds. We were shocked.
How difficult was the time for you when the treatment was going on?
It was not so easy. Rather, I would say it was very difficult in the initial stages to convince him to see a doctor. But once he understood the problem, he used to call me and ask me about the next appointment with the doctor.
What did the doctor tell you when you visited him for the treatment, sir?
He told me that I am suffering from sleep apnea. It can be dangerous disease now. I mean, extreme stage.
Sir, why did you decide to consult a doctor and get yourself treated? Did something happen?
Actually, I am a businessman and I have to deal with lots of clients and employees. I had this very important meeting with a client. I don't know what happened, I forgot about the meeting. I had suffered huge loss. And then I decided to get treated.
As we followed the two cases for over 3 months, our curiosity about the two patients increased. We realized that though snoring may be the most commonly ignored thing by people, but it's dangerous. It can lead to several severe diseases. So we decided to speak to a doctor, Dr. Ashok Arbat, who's treating these two patients himself. Dr. Arbat has given several national and international seminars on this particular topic. He was kind enough to give us some time and tell us about these two particular cases and about the topic on camera. So, sir, what are the causes for snoring?
You can think there are so many causes of snoring. Basically, it happens in the adult age group. This may because of somebody is having repeated cold, his nasal block is there, enlarged tonsils means there is some infection in the throat that also lead to snoring. And the most important part is the inner pharynx that we called it. It get narrowed. So most important, obesity, enlarged tonsils, then the repeated cold. These are the few causes of the snoring.
Is snoring harmful for our body?
Definitely it is harmful to body because it lead to fragmentation of sleep and it also lead to lack of architecture of the sleep. So both the things lead to a bad sleep, and bad sleep is not good for human being and it has so many complications. So it is snoring is not good for the healthy person.
Why snoring should cause sleep problems?
You know that a normal human being needs a good sleep, that is 7 to 8 hours of sleep, so that next day he is totally fit for the next day's activity mentally and physically. And what happened in snoring, because of repeated destruction or you can say the disruption in the sleep and the lack of architecture of the sleep, he doesn't get proper sleep, and that's why it leads to so many problems.
So, if somebody snores at night, does that mean he's suffering from sleep apnea?
It does not mean that he will suffer from sleep apnea. Usually 30% people in the above the age of 40, they snore one or the other time. But the regular snorers are around 10%, and out of that around maybe 5 to 6% of the people, they do suffer from obstructive sleep apnea. So not necessarily all snorers are suffering. It again depends on the how much you snore, how many apnea you get during the sleep, and how much is the desaturation or the oxygen desaturation during the sleep. That leads to obstructive sleep apnea or apnea.
And sir, what exactly is sleep apnea?
Whenever we snore, because of snoring, our breathing stop for some times. If a breathing stop for some around you can say 10 seconds, that is called as one apnea. And if you get more than 5 apneas, means if you stop your breathing 5 times in 1 hour, that lead to obstructive sleep apnea.
Is there any medication for sleep apnea?
As such, we have to first consider what are the causes of sleep apnea. The first cause is snoring, because in the snorer, because of more collapsibility of the pharyngeal muscles or the muscles which are present in the throat, that leads to cessation of breathing, that is apnea. And it cannot be corrected with the medicine. How? Because there is no action of the medicine, because it is something like a obstruction in the airways, that is called as mechanical obstruction. So relieve that mechanical obstruction, we need something like a machine which can put air inside the lungs with proper pressure. Then and then you can avoid the apnea. Otherwise you cannot. In some patients, it does happen that whenever they sleep on the back, apneas are more. But whenever they sleep on one side, the apneas are less. So this patient can select their position also, but that can be determined after doing the sleep study.
We studied the cases of two patients who came to you for treatment.
Yes.
During the interview of a patient's wife, she told us that he met with an accident. Why does that happen?
See, in this patient, those who snore more in the night time, they do not get proper sleep in the night time. So lack of sleep is one thing. That's why. And second thing is lack of oxygen concentration in the blood. Both the things lead to daytime sleepiness. They are not alert, lack of concentration, and they do not take a complex decision. So all these things lead to improper decision, or at the 11th hour they are unable to take a decision, and that leads to many time accidents. So this does happen in patients, and what you talk about the same thing, that patient made accident because he was already having obstructive sleep apnea because of snoring, and he was more sleepy, and he could not take proper action at the 11th hour. So he missed that action, and because of that lack of concentration, he met with the accident.
In the second case, the patient told us that he experienced problem in concentrating and memory loss. How is he now?
Now he is doing well. That time, because of so many things, he was unable to think properly about his business, how to put the money and how to take the decision, and he was more sleepy. So he used to postpone his decision. He was not taking decision at the proper time, and he used to give money, and then he does not used to remember also where the money is given. So that has leads to many financial losses to him. But after his sleep study, and now he is regularly using a BiPAP, which is a machine which can give the proper air, put proper air with a pressurized air into his lung. And now he doesn't have snoring also, he doesn't have apnea also, and that is now he is getting normal sleep.
So, what are the changes in you after the treatment?
One major change after the treatment is I don't snore anymore.
It's been over 3 months now that you're visiting the doctor. Have you seen any changes in your husband? And if you have, what are those changes?
Yeah, major changes. He looks energetic all the time and spends a lot of good time with the family. And even if he's working throughout the day, he does not get irritated easily like before.